What's up, y'all? I am Sheila in his house.
Life with Shan all over internet.
Be love with the knowledge and love.
Can I go back real quick? So I know I introduced myself, but I forgot to tell y'all, I got a whole freaking podcast. So my podcast is called Quite Frankly, and that's KWITE, Quite Frankly with Sheila. So check me out on YouTube. And we're gonna be doing some collabs. So welcome to the podcast, y'all.
For those of y'all that know me, y'all been asking me for a long time when we was gonna do it. So we're gonna start off, since we already did, and y'all probably done already seen the ones on YouTube. Since we did her podcast, Quite Frankly, everybody loved it. So we decided to bring her on first before we put out any more podcasts. But today we have a very interesting topic.
I like this topic.
She chose this topic. I'm just gonna go with this topic today. It's called how to choose your mate and how to know if you're choosing someone that you're equally yoked with.
Yeah.
So I'll start off by saying equally yoked. So since we the older generation.
All right. Let's clarify what that means first, because for those people who skip church on Sundays, or they may not necessarily know what it means, or it can actually be a little vague. Like you may understand it, but people can have different understandings. So you want to clarify that?
He gonna tell us what it is, but before he tells us what it is, I'm gonna say from the elders telling us equally yoked, and me growing up and knowing and feeling that I didn't understand what they were talking about at first, but I also didn't agree with it, even though I didn't understand it. Okay. Now I really don't agree with it. Okay. Equally yoked to them was spiritual. It was all about a Baptist being with a Baptist, a Catholic being with a Catholic, whatever. I don't follow any of that, so I don't believe in it. I truly believe whatever makes you better as a person, that's what you should believe in, and I don't care what another person believes in. Right. I just know for me, Jesus died on the cross for my sins. I don't believe in God, and I'm right with that. What everybody else ride with is what they ride with. But just because another person, if I meet a person and let's say she's Jehovah's Witness, okay, I'm not gonna necessarily say we're not equally yoked.
Okay, so let's is it D Love gonna tell us, or you gonna tell us, D Love, what do you mean, what is it when we say equally yoked?
I'm looking it up now. I want to try to get some type of definition. Okay. But in my understanding, equally yoked is pretty much thinking the same way, moving the same way, getting an understanding of the same thing, focusing back and focusing on the list, itemizing the list, and definitely doing your checklist and with your companion. That gives the equal from the unequal. But what the Bible says is the most common Bible verse addresses whether Christians can date non-believers or non-Christians from 2 Corinthians 6:14 through 15. Unequally yoked comes from, and in the ES translation it modifies it simply being yoked together with unbelievers.
So it's pretty much what I gather, the yin and the yang. But
I mean, I kind of saw it the way you saw it too. So at least I thought about it the way you thought about it. So in my thought process, equally yoked was kind of from a Christian standpoint or a church standpoint, whereas marry someone else who's in the church, and then you guys can grow with each other inside of the church. That's kind of what I thought about.
And that's what I grew up believing. So that's what the elders put in us.
That's what I grew up.
Newer generation and forward-thinking people, I look at it differently now. I look at it totally different.
Right. I do too, actually.
Equally yoked to me means if I'm trying to choose a mate, I'm trying to choose a mate that's going on the same type of path that I'm going on. Right. If she's going on a path that's going right and I'm going on a path that's going right, that's who I'm trying to stick with. Right. I don't need to necessarily, if I know my path is going right, I don't need to try to get with somebody whose path I can sternly see.
So I don't even say equally yoked. No, like I don't use it because I'm gonna get in trouble. So much trouble saying this. So much trouble. But I don't go to church every Sunday. It is what it is, right? So I don't use equally yoked, but I use someone who shares the same values as you. So I say somebody who's good for you. There's so many different places we got to go with that even just saying that little bit, because I even think about what does it mean to be with somebody. And, there are all these things that are written on Google. You could Google this, that, and that, and that, and that. And they'll tell you what the astrological signs need to be together, who does and doesn't, and all these things. But I don't necessarily use equally yoked because I ain't in the church like that every day. So,
but see, that's the thing.
But
That's what we knew
right.
from our elders.
It is how we grew up, though.
That's what we knew. So we can still use equally yoked just in how it benefits us.
It didn't start in the church, though. It started at home. So it doesn't have to be about it coming from the church when you use it. It's just what your upbringing, what was told, because that's what I was told. And so that's what I grew up. But as an adult, I don't feel like that. I just feel like if I meet somebody and I feel like, nobody's perfect, so I could find that perfect person for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody
right.
have flaws and stuff like that, so I don't look at being equally yoked or anything. I just.
But can we actually use that term though if we're not in church?
Yes, because when you actually look at it, so to me, I'm gonna say this is my own take on equally yoked.
Okay.
If I am goal oriented, goal driven, and I don't want any kids,
right?
There is no way I should be trying to be with somebody that specifically tells me I want a lot of kids.
Right.
That's not. We're not equally yoked.
Exactly.
See, okay, so I'm still thinking.
But it's not with the spiritual part.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
The spiritual part is something totally different.
The word yoke, I'm thinking, makes it. Where do you live as far as going to church every Sunday? Do you believe in who do you believe in? What do you believe in?
The reason why I'm conflicted with it is because I see successful marriages where you have a Christian man and you have a Buddhist woman.
Right, it's true.
I don't see real successful marriages where both of them don't ascribe to the same religion.
That's true.
But
in the church, though, would they be considered equally low? It's just like, now think about it like this. If you have, and I don't know the answer to this, so I'm throwing it out there, but let's just say if you have someone who is Muslim.
Yeah.
Would they even allow you? I don't know if the word is allow. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I don't know if that's the word or not. But are you able to date someone who is not a Muslim?
We are all free. We can date whoever we want to date. See,
in America.
No, that's anywhere.
That's not true.
I've traveled the world. It's anywhere.
You telling me in Afghanistan, somebody can date whoever they want to date, and
the difference is if a man is a Muslim and he meets a non-Muslim woman,
right?
It's on him. The consequences that come with you choosing someone that doesn't believe what you believe. It's consequences that come with it in your religion.
So but
if you choose that person,
not a Muslim as far as I'm sorry, it may not be the right term, but not living in Afghanistan or Israel. I mean the actual belief system, when you go to a Muslim a mosque, when you go to a church, and when you go to that, or when you do stuff like that, when you go to a certain type of church every day, and you honor the religion, and you do you do all the stuff that they do every day, are you equally yoked if you date somebody who is not in the same thing?
In the spiritual realm, you're not, but life is life. And that's why me personally, I don't ascribe to none of it. All that stuff I was taught when you have to unlearn and relearn.
I agree with that.
And a lot of people are waking up and realizing and unlearning and relearning. The issue is, in some cultures, you're not going to be able to, like you said, like some Muslims, like if they're in the hierarchy in their family, right? Like they might not be able to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They might not be able to.
I've heard of people getting killed. Not like I've heard of men killing people. And I watch a lot of documentaries, so I've heard of people getting killed for not dating someone of the same religion. It gets that deep.
Yeah, but the only catch about it is you can become unequally yoked.
That is the
case. You mean after you together?
You could be with somebody and then eventually y'all are equally yoked once y'all together.
What in the world happens then? Like what the hell? Like what happens?
Somebody just it even as far as cheating. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. They can break the yoke on it, or what's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
If the joint, being joined together is one, but you can become unequally
yoked, right?
So, I'm going to ask a question.
Okay.
when looking for a mate, what are the top 5 things that you're looking for?
Yeah, I had that on my list as well. So, all right. So, superficially speaking, because I am back from time to time.
Here we go.
When I was single, I was looking for a guy that looked a certain way. So, first of all, I'm going to be honest with y'all. So, when I first started, all right, so between my first husband and the husband that I'm with right now, I dated in between. And, so dating going to give you some experiences. It's going to tell you what you do and don't like. So I knew from my first marriage, I knew that I did not want somebody to lie to me. But you got to kind of cut through the bullshit first. Like, you got to figure out, cut through the representation and all that stuff.
Right.
As you say, go on a few dates and figure all that out. So superficially speaking, I was looking for someone who looked a certain way, certain height, certain this, certain that. Actually, I got him. And so I was lucky because he's a good dude. But as I've gotten older and God forbid if something happens to him and we're not together anymore or something happens to him, then I got to get back out there. I don't think I'll necessarily look for something physical versus some other things that 52-year-old need in her life.
So what are the top 5?
Right.
All right.
That's a good one.
All right. So for me, I think my top 5. Okay, when I first see somebody, I was looking for a height. I was looking for maybe a weight, a certain body type. I like guys who maybe has a basketball build. My husband has that. Versus, I heard this girl say one time that she liked guys with hard bodies. Somebody in the gym, not my thing.
Mine
All right.
either.
Yeah. So I guess mine was superficially when I first met. So I was looking at somebody looking like height, weight. This is just all wrong. I don't even want to say it all out loud.
You already into it now.
I know. I ain't gonna say no more, but I'm gonna get out my top 2.
I'm gonna do my top 5.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm looking for somebody that's mature. I'm looking for somebody that's driven.
But before you get there, because that's why I say I'm gonna stop, because I can even go further than that. Once I got to know him, we'll get to that next year. But superficially, like what attracted you to somebody?
Nah, so it's deeper than that once you get older. So for me personally, when I'm dating somebody on these couple of dates that we talked about on the last podcast, when we on these dates, I'm looking to see how mature they are.
How did you get to the date, Jay? You gotta hold it. What drew you to? Yes.
But see,
that's
physical.
Yes, how'd you get to the date first?
Men are visual creatures.
Yeah,
so
women are too now. Don't get it twisted.
Right. It's in our nature. Everything about a man is
physical.
Is physical. So the physical, that's what attracts us. So once we're attracted, we ask you out. Once I ask you out, the top 5 things I'm looking for to see how mature you are, to see if you can carry on a conversation. Can I be able to talk to you about anything? What's your mental life?
Absolutely.
Of course, the physical is, that's in there. It's just not as high as it was when I was younger.
That's what I was saying.
It's not as high as it was.
As I am now, I would not look for all that.
Because there are a lot of what they call dumb blondes out there. There's a lot of people that look good. They don't have no, like my friend that's not here today. Like she said, they don't have no substance.
Yeah, right.
I need somebody that's God-fearing. You don't have to believe what I believe, but you gotta know that this is a higher power. You gotta be going that type of way.
Do they have to go to, okay, that's all. So go ahead.
You gotta be family oriented and you gotta like to travel. If you don't have a passport, I don't think we're gonna get too much. We're not gonna get too far. I'm gonna be traveling. So if you don't have a passport, I don't know. That's the deal breaker for me. But yeah, that was my top 5.
Okay, so then real quick, I'm sorry, y'all. If we're talking like that, because I was saying like when you first, before you even meet somebody, that was the before. Right. But once I get into it, for sure, I needed some consistency. I needed to make sure that someone was consistent, that they were going to say what they say and do what they say they were going to do. I was going to try to make sure I needed someone who was trustworthy. I don't want you telling me that A is B and B is A when I know the hell it's not. I need somebody I need to be able to trust you when you're not in my presence. Right. I need to make sure that you are that you're man enough to make decisions. Like I remember when I was dating my husband, I would go to his house, I would make sure his light was on, his gas was on. Like I need to make sure that you make good decisions.
But see, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because you can't happen.
It does happen.
You can't check up behind. Like either you gonna ride with me or you're not gonna ride with me. Like if you checking up behind me to see what I'm doing. First
I
of all,
wasn't checking. I was paying attention. I was because this is the thing. At the time, I wanted to make sure that if you are my guy, that you at least even if he had said to me that I had to shift some money for my light to pay my mortgage, anything like that. But I needed to make sure that he was man enough that he can take care of his own business. Then he can take care of me. Yes, or at least he can make decisions. Or if he's gonna lead me, he gotta be mature enough to lead me.
The man is the head.
Yeah. So all right. So go ahead, Sharon. That's my thing.
First, I look for leadership in a man because
hello, Moto.
I look for leadership.
Look, we don't have no Moto phones in here. We don't know
That's
why
true.
B-Love is coming in here with this Moto phone. But
I like my phone.
I look for leadership in a man because I've always known and grown up that man is going to be the head. So I like a man that's know what he want and he's not afraid to go and get it.
Yeah.
So if I see that in a man, that's attractive to me. I need somebody that's going to be patient with me because I'm shy. And a lot of people don't know that when they look at me because if you see me online, you would never know that. So I need somebody that can be patient with me on that behalf. And I look for a well-kept man. I like a smell good, well-kept man. Yeah. Because I see a lot of... I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because I meet a lot of guys... not meeting them, but online, they try and talk to me, and I go on their page. They're truck drivers, so all they wear is t-shirts and jeans all over the page. Like,
now hold up. You can buy him some stuff for Christmas, his birthday, all that.
And I'm looking all around the page. I'm just like.
But let me speak of my truck driver brother's defense, because
my husband actually drives a truck, but on the weekend,
I know it's not all of them.
Nice dresses.
Most of it, I think, and that's why I wanted to ask the top 5 things what people are looking for, because a lot of women today will not date a regular guy. And a regular guy to me is a truck driver.
No.
But a lot of these people don't know what these truck drivers make. If they driven, they can take care of their household.
It's not that.
And another household.
I will date one. I was just saying, like, looking on their page, like, I just like a certain look, I guess.
Let me ask you this though. So if you are searching for a guy and this guy approach you, but when you go on his page, he does have a lot of t-shirts and things on. So would you swipe right, left or right, whatever?
No, that's not the biggest issue for me. So I'm always gonna look at what they're saying on their page, what they're talking about, how they come at me. All that makes a difference whether I'm going to talk to you or not. So it's not that, but I do see that a lot. And I am a person, I'm visual too. Yeah. I like a nice looking, brother that looks like he's well kept. Now, if your t-shirt stretched out to your, why is it stretched out?
But see, a lot of men, they out here grinding every day. Like, life is hard, and a lot of people
life is hard.
Are not getting.
It's hard. It is.
Life is hard. If you got you a hard working man, you can't tell me nothing compares to that. Nothing compares. Like, if he get a hard working man that has his morals and standards, that will stand on everything he say and take care of the household, it's nothing compared to that.
I agree with that.
Even the men who make all the money,
you gotta get there first.
I have no problem with all that though. I'm just
Look, but when you look at the t-shirt, and stuff, like if you know you're gonna be in the truck all day, you just gotta be comfortable.
Yeah.
Like when he's off, like so they don't have no pictures of like when they off and they go into events or anything.
That's what I be wanting to see. I'm okay with that. But if all your pictures
give y'all guys out there.
I say
some guys are not open to change. So like
the older they get,
the last guy I was trying to date, like I don't date smokers, but I try to bring myself down, be like, okay, maybe you're doing too much. So this guy was like, well, he said he smoked weed sometimes. So I was like, okay,
ain't nothing wrong with that, bud. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute, I said maybe I could do that. I said, okay, cool. And so getting into the dating part of it, it wasn't every now and then. That's not what it's given. It's given you should be smoking cigarettes because you're a chain smoker. Like every time the car stop at the red light, you gotta get out and smoke. We stop at the gas station, you gotta get out and smoke.
Hold on, let's stay focused because we gotta get to
okay. So anyway, that was like a turn off for me. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna stay forward with what I like. So I don't want to date a smoker.
Right.
That's not something I would do. So these are
y'all ain't yoked. Y'all ain't equally yoked.
So that's something I'm not gonna do. And the last thing is you gotta put God first. Because if you're gonna lead me, I need you to have Him when you're coming to me, because you gotta come right. You know what I'm saying? It's the way you talk to people, and if you don't know how to talk to me right, you're not gonna get through to me. So that's not.
Be love. What you got?
I'm rough. Yeah. First of all, you have to give God the glory. Within yourself. I need somebody that's gonna be compassionate to the Creator.
So let me stop you real quick. So with that being said, what if the person is for you? What if that person is out there right now?
Right.
And they are Jehovah's Witness?
Whoop.
Well, definitely you want to just pray about everything.
That's a good one. That's a good one right now. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good one.
Yeah, just pray about it and then just wait. Spend some time. Actually, it talks about the body. The body's made up of different things. You know what I'm saying? Different people that makes up the body. So that could be my arm, or my leg, or my ears, or my nose, or my mouthpiece for me, or whatever.
Would you be willing to change religion for a woman?
Well, I would change it for God. If that's what God is actually for a woman, for God.
Hey, he got some comebacks over here. I ain't gonna lie.
So I don't get that, because so would God come to you and say, become a Muslim now that you want to date this lady? Like, how would you know?
You have to put your time in. You have to individually. Every person has to put their time in with the Creator. It's a meditation. You have to put. God do speak to people on a certain level. Some people are higher levels. So that's why we all have leaders.
Yes, He do.
You have leaders and people that's in authority, because it's a reign. God, man, woman, children. You know what I mean? Everybody submit to one another.
He lead me.
God works for the man works for the woman works for the children.
I get that.
Yes.
So
a lot of people don't understand.
In that order.
That went over a lot of y'all head out there. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, in that order.
I get that. I do. However, I don't see, like, for instance, if you decide that, so for me, if it's like, I know that I won't even go out with someone who is a religion that I'm not willing to change for. This is no disrespect for any religion, but I don't know other religions enough I don't want to change my religion and my religious status. So I won't even go out with somebody. So how do you get to the point where you start going out with somebody enough times and fall in love with her that you talk to God and ask and figure out? Because if the woman follows the man, what if she's not willing to change from being a Muslim or being whomever to you?
To me, that's all of the stuff that's been ingrained in our head forever.
What?
That we have to unlearn and relearn.
It says all
when you meet a person,
possible.
When you meet a person, I don't care what religion they are, as long as they're a great person.
Exactly.
When we start talking, that's going to decide for me. That's going to decide for me how we can move, if we can move forward.
Yeah,
when we start talking. But
I would never date somebody of a religion that I'm not willing to change for. Like,
but see, you just said you're not knowledgeable.
Witness, I'm not going.
You're not knowledgeable in any of those religions.
I'm not saying I'm even willing to learn about them. I don't want to become one. So I would not. And if me as a woman having to follow my man, I'm not going to go out with him because I'm not willing to change. I don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness, or I don't want to be a Muslim lady. I don't want to be that.
There again, it's a lot of men
I tried
out there
witness.
that think like
you
me.
did.
And who said they're gonna require you to change?
I don't even because if I am a woman and my husband is that, and
he's gonna love you for who you are.
But he may require me or may ask me to go to,
and that's your deal breaker.
Or a Saturday,
and then that'll be your deal breaker.
That's why I won't even go out with him, because I'm not even trying to get there.
But
so
it's like
saying that's not equally yoked. If we got
for real though.
Right.
Religion.
Well, what I'm saying is that I'm not equally yoked to somebody who goes to who does.
You're saying how you feel. You can't say how you feel. What if God told you you're gonna be with a Jehovah's Witness? You don't have no choice. That's what people don't give.
Hold up a second. So you saying to me, God will come down to me and He will say to me in prayer, whatever.
Nobody can tell you what God said to you.
I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't think that.
You don't think that.
I don't think God's gonna ever come down and be like, okay, well, now if I know that a guy is of a certain religion that, like, even if we go out and we talk on the first date or whatever, and if I find out that he is of a religion that I'm not willing to do, and that I'm not willing to transfer, I probably won't go out with him no more. I'm just being real. I'm not, because I would have to follow my husband at some point if he becomes that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. Then I'll just go to the next person and I'll go to somebody else.
See, the way I look at it, I think we are our own worst enemy.
We might be.
Because we have our own way of thinking.
Agree with that.
We have our own way of thinking, and it's like
getting out of the way.
I can't disagree with you. You feel how you feel,
right?
But at the same time, I can't say if I meet this person is perfect for me.
Right.
We got great conversation. Everything about us is perfect, except she believes something different than me. I can't not be with them because
this is the thing about
she's
it.
a great person because of who she is.
This is my thing about being somebody perfect for you. First of all, the only way that I would know that someone's perfect for me if we have great conversation multiple times. If I find out that he is of another religion, we don't get that. We don't get that.
Let's say for
wait. And I want to make sure I'm saying a lot. I'm not. This is no disrespect to any other religion. No, I'm not doing that.
You have an opportunity.
I'm just saying I don't want to change religions.
You can be. I got a question. I'm trying to ask him. So would you date a woman that goes to church all the time? Say you didn't go to church all the time, and she goes to church all the time, but she wants you to start coming to her church.
In my situation, I actually attend service, but I definitely.
Well, what if she didn't?
If she willing to not train me, but show me something different,
Well, what if she? Because you say you do. What if she didn't?
Does not. What if she never goes to church?
No, actually, I've been in that situation before. The difference is, that's when the equally yoked come in. The different levels on the spiritual level, and the understanding, and all you're getting get understanding. So a lot of time in relationship, because we're not on the same spiritual level, it can be a conflict.
Absolutely
the strength and the power it says about the oxen, the weakens.
Especially if you guys haven't had kids yet, if you got to have children, how do you raise your kids? In what religion? I'm over that part of life, but
Right. But
so let me ask you this then.
You just have to be patient. Actually, if you're willing to wait, kind of sustain yourself, or to an extent, you have to kind of wait till they kind of catch up to an extent. If you're willing to do that,
right?
You know what I mean. But it'll take time,
and we'll figure out if they worth us doing that for. That's why. So if you start dating a person, on the first couple of days, y'all talk about it. And you
talking about religion?
Yeah. Okay. And you ask him about it, he's like, I really don't like talk about religion, but I believe there's only one God. And and he leave it at that. And he don't say nothing else. Okay. He's the perfect person for you. And then you find out he's a Jehovah's Witness after you find out he's the perfect person for you. You gonna stop dating?
I might. It depends because I might.
That should have been addressed to me. Huh? That should have been addressed to me.
Because that's what happened to you?
I married into that family for 13 years, and I would. It's the boringest. No, I'm sorry. No, I wouldn't. Yeah. I'm just gonna say that. I wouldn't because I did it for 13 years, and so now if I date somebody that's of a certain, I guess, religion that I like, a Muslim or a Jehovah's Witness, that's not for me. Yeah. So if I find that out at the beginning, then I'm gonna go on and.
You go
you also have to watch how people move.
Right.
You have to watch how people move. So if we've gone on multiple dates, we've obviously been talking on the phone in the interim, all in between there. If I hear that he's at church on a Sunday, or if he's at church on a Saturday morning.
What if he works on Sundays? And his off days are Tuesday, Wednesday.
Somewhere in there, if someone is
trying to get off on Sundays to go to church, he's not off on Sundays.
But
I'm not off on Sundays either.
If somewhere in there, they will have some kind of conversation or make some type of reference or comment towards something that will alert you some kind of way. I just once I know that, even if I have been deemed somewhat tough. I'll say hard or tough, right?
So would that be masculine or would that be feminine?
That's feminine, baby. All day. I'm feminine all day. Hold on a second.
I know I'm gonna get her.
Please believe she is feminine all day long. But the thing is this though, like when I say that, I was saying that because I do have the ability. I'm probably as far as like relationship goes, I live by a certain motto, and the motto is this: everyone deserves to be happy with or without me in their lives.
Yeah, right.
Because of that, I also deserve to be happy with or without someone in my life. But if I have gotten on a few dates with somebody and they show me that they are in another relationship, one that I'm not willing to change, then I can easily walk away from that.
But we're all of my mom kids are like that, and it's because we had both parents growing up in the household, so we saw how our dad treated our mom. So it's certain things that I can walk away from. I was married 13 years, but you had a baby, so it's time for me to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did it hurt? Yes, but I got through it.
Yeah.
And
I've never been the type of person to that, and I know a lot of times we see the woman balled up in a curl in the bed when she's been, when the relationship is over. I've never been that person. I don't do that.
That's a whole nother subject.
No.
If you've never felt that before, then you haven't really been with somebody you really cared about like that. You just don't know it.
That may be true.
Because when you really care about somebody for real and they leave you, I don't care how tough you are.
Okay, wait, freeze. This is the thing. As God is my witness, no one has ever left me. I've always not leaving.
Oh, you the leader.
But see, they did say that. They did say, you know what I'm saying? All y'all women be leaving the marriages.
Well, I love the reason.
that was a good reason, right? That I left.
Oh yeah, because he had a child on you.
No,
No.
That's not a deal breaker.
This lady was calling my
That's
house.
not a deal breaker.
She didn't even know. She didn't know why I lived.
No. What would
You
Jesus
trying
do?
to tell me?
What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? And that's all I want to know. Would Jesus forgive you?
Hell no.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I feel like it just depends on where y'all in your relationship. Like if y'all.
So if I was married to you and I would have had a baby with a man,
baby, he would leave
stay
you
with me. You
Hell
gonna forgive me?
Look.
Say what? Come on now. No, he lied.
Look, she say what?
It's different for men, you know. We don't.
So here we go.
Here
we go. You gonna try to say?
Yeah.
What they saying is that they can have a child, but we can't do that.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm gonna tell you why it's different though. Like I said in the last podcast.
Oh, we don't go on that subject.
Look, I'm telling you,
it may not be by
exactly.
Say what now?
Do you know how many marriages out here right now where they had kids and it don't be the father's kid? She be not cheating on him, and he don't know because he don't get no DNA test. Because he just look it up. Yeah, that's real bad. That's the type of stuff we have to deal with. But at the same time, let's
that's a mess right there.
Let's get to the topic. How we gonna choose this mate?
All right, so that's a good question. So how do you find? Do you?
Because we already know y'all non-negotiable about religion. So
we need to say.
I'm sorry if y'all Jehovah's Witness, Muslim, Buddhist.
Listen, just get equally yoked with somebody. Get with somebody who wants the same thing.
I don't subscribe to what they talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like love who you love. You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta get to the point of loving somebody first.
I'm not so hung on meeting somebody that has to be in church. Like, as long as he have a relationship with God, because I have a relationship with God. I work on Sunday, so I haven't been able to go to church. But before that, I was in church. But now my job, my week starts on Sunday. So, like, I don't require to meet somebody that says they don't go to church.
If y'all go to church on Wednesday, though.
But if they tell me,
I don't know.
If they tell me that they don't have a relationship with God or they don't believe in God or the higher power or whatever and stuff, then we're probably not it's not gonna work for me. Like, just have a relationship.
For me, I guess since I travel so much, it's certain things. So in my household, I grew up with my mom and dad. The one thing I admired my mom for, she never pressed religion.
Right. My mom didn't.
My mom was the type, she would get up on Sunday out the blue and like, y'all going to church? Are y'all going? And me and my sister look at each other like, we ain't seen God in a minute. I'm going. And we'll just go. Like, she instilled that in us, so we actually knew we needed to be going to church, but she didn't press us.
I like that because
right.
when you press a child to do something like that, they're not going to pay attention.
Exactly.
Right.
So for me, even though I grew up in a household with my parents and I knew what I knew about church, me being around church, I really always felt something is missing. And y'all not just going to tell me this is what it is.
Right.
Because when I'm looking at this picture of this white Jesus, first of all, we've all known since birth that ain't right.
Right.
But at the same time, everybody else ascribing to it.
Right.
So
because that's what we were taught.
Exactly.
Right.
So for me, when I got older, the number one thing in my mind, travel. So I've traveled to all the countries I want to go to. And I've learned about all these religions.
Okay.
And it's changed my view on everything.
Right.
And that's why, for me, personally, if I meet somebody, I don't care what their religion is. Whatever they're believing, if they believe in Allah and that make them a better person, a better spouse, a better nurturer, a better mother, then that's what you be, baby. And I will support you going to your mosque, doing what you do. Matter of fact, I'm going to even try to go to a mosque just to see
what it's like.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to ask you.
That don't mean I'm believing in it.
Right.
But I would still go to congregate with my brothers and sisters that just believe in God. The difference is I just don't believe religion was created to control people. I don't care what nobody tell me.
Absolutely it is. Yes, it was.
For me, Jesus, God, but I also believe Muhammad was a prophet. I believe that.
Yeah.
Muhammad was a prophet just like Jesus. Actually, that's one of the biggest misconceptions with the Quran and the Bible. The people, the Muslims, they believe that Jesus was the son of God, which he was, and he was a prophet like Muhammad, which he was. It wasn't no lie. But at the same time, that's the difference with them. But it was for me to go out and learn this versus what people just saying.
Right, I get that. First-hand experience is good.
Yeah. My thing is, whatever religion for its title, is just put your own homework in, study so yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right.
Yeah, churches is for fellowship, and just like a party, it's for fellowship, and you know what I mean, and trying to be on the same page. But in just like a sports or whatever, you work individually on your particular craft.
Exactly. So do you believe? Because it's like I hear a lot of people say all the time, like, I don't go to church on Sunday. I don't go to church on Sunday. I don't believe like that. I believe that you should go to church whenever you can make it to church. But if you don't, you can fellowship with God anywhere.
Yes,
you don't have to be in a special building built to gold and all that stuff. I've never believed.
Now that's a whole other conversation.
Because
it's a. I don't want to get in trouble today for that.
But God is everywhere.
Yeah.
God is everywhere.
And with that yoking, so does that really make a difference for us to being yoked, unequally yoked?
You know, I don't know. I think again that yoke has to do with religion and where you guys stand together on that or apart. And so, when you think about dating somebody, not necessarily using the word yoke, which means that we're talking about religion. Even just we were just mentioning a little while ago, what was our 5 things that maybe attract somebody. We never did answer the question either. Where do you meet people? Where do we meet people? Where do you meet people? Like, what do you meet? And what do you find somebody that's good for you? Like, would you date? Would y'all date online? Would you date online? Would you? If you were not married?
I have dated online.
I have too.
I think I know so many. Like traveling, it opens up your mind so much.
Right.
That I can meet somebody at a bar. I can meet somebody on a plane. I can meet somebody in a different country.
Right.
Like it's so many ways you can meet another person. It's just like I said, we gotta get out of our own way. One
place you're not gonna meet them though is that they're not gonna just walk in your house and just be like, hey, I'm your perfect person. You gotta get out and meet somebody. Yeah. But you said you have dated somebody online?
I have dated online, but I haven't. I really don't do never go to work, go home right now. But I don't want to date a guy that be in the club like every week, so I wouldn't be looking in the club. I go out sometime with my cousins.
But hold on a second. So you have dated online?
I have dated online. That didn't work out. That was the person I was just talking about.
D-Love, have you dated online?
No, haven't done it.
Would you if you were not married or engaged or in a relationship, would you put a profile out there?
You say if I were?
If you were searching for your perfect girl.
Oh, I don't know. I've never done it before.
You would
probably try it or something.
You would okay.
I thought about it.
I don't know why you didn't upgrade to the new generation, man.
I actually have before my marriage.
I'm old school too, because back in old school days, you go to a cookout, be like, girl, when you get that, I got my husband friend, he nice, I'm going to introduce him to you. They don't do that no more.
Right.
You on your own with trying to find somebody.
I know a successful relationship right now who they met online, so I know it can work.
Who?
I've heard somebody say before, huh? No. We don't want to say who.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me later.
You know the person.
I don't. No, tell me you. Oh, no, I can't tell me you.
You know who met online and who's been in a relationship.
Oh, okay.
Duh.
We was there yesterday.
Hey, whatever. All right,
okay.
so, but the thing is, we've known somebody. I know somebody, but I do know somebody too who told me, who said that they would never do it. And that's the reason I mentioned that couch thing, is because it's exactly what I told her. I was like, nobody's just gonna pop up at your house and be like, hey, I'm your perfect guy. You gotta find them. If you don't go out, if you don't do things, you gotta find other ways to meet other people.
And I got a question for the guys, because this is something I've never been able to do because the way I grew up. Do y'all think that it's aggressive for a woman to come and approach you?
That's a good question.
No, I truly think that
You said no?
when the time is right, the time is right. Like whether it's a man approaching, whether it's a woman approaching, like especially with me doing all this travel, you know when you got chemistry with somebody, cause
right.
that eye contact
it's true.
is real.
Yeah, it is.
Neither one of y'all can look away, and both of y'all looking like, okay, let's just go on.
First it was like this.
Like, hold up.
Okay, so you didn't grow up like the man is supposed to approach the woman.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Right, but it's not like that
time,
anymore, right?
The question is, would you approach a man?
Let's go do that.
That's the real question.
I be wanting to, but my body won't do it. Like
So you've never approached a man?
I haven't, but I give a compliment. That's about it.
I think y'all should, because so y'all can see what it feel like to be rejected.
So you're saying that if we ask a man out, that we're gonna be rejected?
Yeah.
You think a man gonna reject me?
I mean,
that's probably why I don't do it.
No, ain't nobody never been rejected. I've done it before. I've never been rejected.
That's probably why I don't.
Imagine what we have to go through.
I can imagine that. For
that's probably why I don't.
Because you're afraid of being rejected?
Not only that, because I'm shy for the main
have you
reason.
ever flirted with a guy, with just verbally flirted with somebody? Be like, hey, flirt.
I don't
know.
Because as soon as you flirt with me, and I'm feeling you, I already know what I'm about to say. As soon as you flirt with me, and I'm feeling you, I'm like, you better go on now. I'm telling you, this ain't what you want. You better go on now. I'm trying to save you.
Yeah. Which y'all flirt with y'all?
Oh,
women.
Wait a minute. I take that back, because this guy to come into my workplace.
Okay.
For me, I don't know, because sometimes I'm trying to figure things out, because he always say extra stuff to me, and everybody around knows that.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes a girl come home, and then one time when I checked him in, it looked like they had the same last name. Then one of the coworkers, that could be his sister. No.
But you have.
I was flirting back with him.
No, not back. Initiated the flirt. Have you started the flirt first? But y'all saying it's okay. Y'all are okay with me with women flirting with y'all.
I just remembered his name and stuff. So when he came in, I was like, "Okay, I got you checked in with his name." I said his name.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not it.
Yeah, we need affection from y'all.
It's all right.
I'm trying.
Now, what you gotta say is, when you finish with what you're doing, can you stop back at the desk so I can talk to you real quick?
That is a great comment.
Look,
y'all must be good at this.
But this girl is on his account. They have the same last name.
Okay.
Well, don't do it. Just be careful there. Don't do it then. Now that's.
And I'm just like,
don't listen to her now. She gonna.
Don't he gonna have you rolling around that work?
But I'm just like, he say compliment me and stuff. And
so next time,
I'm talking about you initiating first.
I got you checked in.
He be like, I like your hair and stuff. He'll say stuff like that in front of her.
It says nothing there. I'm talking about you, man.
I got you checked in, man. Next time you come back up here, man, I'm gonna need that number though. You gonna have to let me go and get that number.
I got it. I mean, I ain't got it.
No. But once he give it to you, you already know.
See, I don't.
Okay.
Open on up.
See, these are the ways you find your mate, man.
How about what about setting somebody up? Would people still do that nowadays? Back in the day,
that's what I was talking about.
I might say, okay, I'm just saying for all my homegirls, like if they say, do you got any single friends? I already know it because I know them.
Mm-hmm.
I already know the type of guys they're looking for.
Right.
So I'm gonna go through my memory bank and see what kind of friends I got. But 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying? If you look for a man that's like on my level, we ain't got none of them.
What if somebody said to you, what if a guy, one of your boys, or even one of your girls, your friends who are female, say to you, can you hook me up with somebody? And you know they ain't worthy of, you'd be like, who is the guttiest person I can think of?
So
You totally ain't worthy.
But you want to know what's crazy? I don't think women understand how men operate.
All right.
Even a man that y'all don't feel like is worth it, a man would change everything for somebody who he feels is worth it. So just because I think this dude ain't nothing, I can put him with the right homegirl. She'll change his whole life.
It's true.
He won't even
Let
be
me
the
say
same person.
something to you. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but
Well,
But I wanted to bring this up. You said this on the last our meet, and I watched it a couple of times, and every time I watch it back, I see something different or hear something different. Okay. You said this on the last podcast, and I just think it was profound. Really, though, I'm giving you this prop. It was really good, and it makes me think about. I'll give you this one. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give it to you. So you said that. When a man, let me get my thoughts together, make sure I said it right. You said that when a man gets in a relationship, like if you guys get married and you guys will stay because you feel like that's what I've chosen. That's what I did.
Yeah,
even if this person is not, I found out, oh my gosh, she is not what I wanted or what I thought it was going to be, but you ended up staying. And what I think about that is, even the times when my husband and I disagree, my current husband and I, when we disagree and we're upset with each other, I think about that because I'm thinking too, it was something that you said too, that he says, but I still got to go out and I got to provide and I still got to do this. And although he's still mad, and my husband, even though we've had disagreements, he still go out and he still do his thing. But what that has told me now is I need to be trying to figure out what else can I do for him. Because I know that, because I know that. So I hear you say that.
Another reason why men do that though, because for one, we not indecisive people. We very decisive. Yeah. So if we pick somebody to marry them, we're gonna try to give you the opportunity to be what we want.
That's one thing I like about my husband too.
Because we ain't trying to move. If you find a man ain't finna move into a house this year, move into a house next year. And then women do that. Men, once I move, we ain't moving nowhere else. I don't care what. But we the same way in marriage. So I heard somebody recently say, I wake up.
That was alarming to me though. I was like, wow.
But you're already doing the right thing without anybody telling you. I follow Kay and DeVale Ellis. I love both of them. I love their relationship.
I love them.
They don't want to be role models. And they've said it too.
Who these people y'all talking about?
He was a football player. He used to be a football player, but now him and his family.
But he said something recently. He said he wakes up, and they got on the same page. They had to talk together. Mm-hmm. He wakes up every day saying, "What can I do to make my day, my wife's day better?"
He's on Sisters.
What is Sisters?
Tyler
Perry. I don't watch the show.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he wake up every day figuring out when he wake up in the morning. His first thought is, "How can I make my wife's day better?" Wow. And she said when he told her that, she broke down because that ain't what she think about. When she wake up in the morning, she think about, I gotta get kids.
I gotta get more money to this. But I swear, I can see that my husband being that person.
Yeah. But she literally, because of that day, that opened up her mind.
Yes.
So now she's pretty much returning the favor.
Now I know my husband always tell me, he's like, he always say stuff like, you don't know how much I love you. And it sometimes irritates me though, because I'm like, how can you, it's almost like you are dumbing down my love for you. Because how can you not think that my love is not equal to yours?
Because, and this is very simple, and you go back to the other podcast, watch it again like me, you'll catch it. How many times does a man fall in love?
Oh, you do, yeah.
He only gonna fall in love twice ever. If that, it might be one time.
It still doesn't mean that my love isn't this.
But you don't get what he's saying.
If you want that yoke to stay equal, serve one another.
Yeah.
Serve one another.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he pretty much telling you is the shit that he would do for you, it ain't even a thought that he would do it for nobody else. Period. And I know that for a fact for me.
I get that.
It's probably
what about what I would do for him? I would do the same for him.
No, but you did it in your last marriage and you'll do it in your next marriage. He probably won't. And that's what women don't understand what's different with us. I can tell you one woman, and only me and probably a few friends know who she is. This one woman is the only woman on earth I've ever done all the type of shit that I've done for her. I've never done it for anybody else.
I try to figure it out, child. I hear you, but I think my love is equal.
No, it's not that. Okay. It's the point of the way a man loves is different.
That's what he said. I don't get that because he says this, and I keep saying to him, like, my love, like, how can you? It's all. I'm telling you, to me, it almost
he's
feels.
Probably never loved anyone the way he loved you.
He says that. He actually says that.
And he mean that shit, cause if y'all gonna be together, everybody else gonna be fucked up.
When the women start pushing away.
Yeah.
When he started getting it to you, really like you need, like God give it to us, she pushes away from him. And she don't, the woman, she don't draw to him because it's scary. That feeling, that real love feeling. I know what love is.
Right.
You know, that real love feeling that a man gives to a woman when he falls in love with it.
Right.
It's scary.
Because it's not scary to me. It's just that I don't want you to diminish my. It's like he's saying his love is 100 and mine is 90. Mine is 100 as well.
Okay, no.
That's all I'm saying.
In his eyes, it's not about your perception. If he's saying this to you, it's ways that you could make your love top his. But if you saying that he's diminishing yours, you're not seeing the goal.
He's not necessarily saying it, but he keeps saying stuff like you just don't know how much I love you. I'm like, I love you too. Like, you don't make it seem like you love and I don't love. Like, I know he feels like I check the weather in my relationship a lot. I'm like, hey, where we at? What, are you good? How we doing or whatever. But he's always like, yeah, I feel loved by you and everything. But I just want, it's just almost like he feels like his love is 100 and mine can never be that because he loves differently because he's a man. And I'm like, I love too.
What it is when
we expect y'all to love.
No, that ain't what it is.
Y'all be expecting us to love, but we don't be loving.
Y'all don't. With y'all husband and wives, what happens with the women, they let him in, but they don't let him in. He's saying, open up everything to me.
Oh, I am. We've been married 13 years. I'm very open.
In actuality, men feel more than women. We just control it a little bit better.
And we used to reject.
Okay, y'all sound just like you do. Men love more. Men y'all sound just like
rejection. So y'all not used to rejection. Y'all just made that point. Y'all ain't used to reject. We used to reject. That shit don't faze us for real. That's why we don't have no problem talking to somebody. If we talk to you and you reject us, in the back of our mind, we're gonna give y'all some jewels, so just in case y'all don't know. If I talk to a woman and she doesn't respond the way I would like her to respond, and she reject me, in my mind, I'm gonna be a 10 times better nigga than anybody you ever did. I'm sorry. That's the fucking part. And there's nothing you can do about it. So every dude you end up with, when you end up seeing me again, you're like, damn. And I just let him go. So
going to somebody else. I ain't getting the 100.
I have a quick question. Do guys research girls like we do y'all like if like we I'll pop your name in Google trying to make sure you don't have to
men don't do that.
Nah, we ain't
they just want to somebody that they feel.
We probably should, but I'm not gonna do it for the simple fact that I'm gonna be the alpha regardless.
Right.
It don't even matter what the fuck. Cause
and everybody else you come in, I don't look at stuff like that.
So I look at like when you come in to a situation with me, I ain't no 50-50 person, so I'm doing 100 regardless. So when you come in with me, when you come in, I'm already at the top. When you leave, I'm still gonna be at the top.
I'm trying to make sure I'm not dating somebody who is a stalker, someone who has raped women, or like I'm like that kind of stuff. I do for real.
Look, when my homegirl told me,
I would.
When my homegirl told me she had did a background report on her dude, I'm like, you don't deserve to be in a relationship. This is what I told her. You don't deserve to be in a relationship.
Why not?
If you want to know something about this person, you got fucking 10 dates to ask them.
Yeah.
Either they're going to tell you or they're not.
That doesn't mean that they're going to be truthful.
Just ask.
That doesn't mean that they're going to be truthful.
But you got to give the opportunity.
So we go. We just going to figure it out on our
own. No, you just give them the opportunity to be honest first. Because that's what I do. I ask all the questions I want to know. And then if I find out something different, then that's my opportunity to say whether I want to or not. That's why when I ask, and I say online, I don't date smokers, but then you said I smoke sometimes.
We don't smoke all the time. We just smoke a couple times.
But then when I see that it's something different, that was time for me to move on.
Well, that's what
But I gave you the opportunity.
I don't want to date nobody who has domestic violence. You ain't gonna whoop my ass.
But
okay, no.
See, that's what I mean. So you looking up something. See, they go back to like religion. That is so. Everybody deserves forgiveness. Number one. Number two, we don't know how many of these women that came out and said he did this to me. He didn't do nothing. He went to prison. That's on his record. They found out he didn't do it. He get out and he's still staying.
That's on his record.
This is true. I agree with that. However, it is still too risky for me to be in a relationship with someone who is a stalker or someone who may be a.
You said there's something wrong with a stalker, but you looking up a background check on him. Wait, you can ask him the question.
I will ask because that could be a really good reason why somebody has a felony for. I don't know, child molestation. Maybe they were 17 and the child was 16.
Why don't you just ask
like
first? Make your list. You know the list we were talking about.
How you going to so you telling me to go on a date and be like, do you have any felonies?
Yes, talk to me.
So a person having a felony is a...
Yes.
No, that's not a deal breaker for me. It depends on what the felony is. If they beat somebody ass or woman, but I don't know if I don't want that person. I don't want that guy.
Respect.
Right.
Look, like I'm about with you. Like,
you may be for somebody. I just don't want.
If they a child molester or something like that, you know, I ain't that much forgiveness on earth to me. Me and Jesus, we want the same on that level.
But there are some people.
I ain't gonna be able to do that one.
There are some people who may have it on their record. I've seen before, and they were like young themselves, like 17, and the young lady may have been 16 or something like that. That's understandable. But when you talk about
no, it ain't understandable. If it's my daughter, no, it ain't understandable.
If your daughter is 16 years old, how fast they ass be out there? I'm not saying for real.
He talked into it. He talked into it. Because he was older. He had that game now. Yeah, we're gonna have to go and put you real. Now let me stop playing. I really don't even agree with that for real. Like if they a year or two in age difference, man, there's people out here dad date somebody's daughter. He's 65, she's 20.
Right, that's a problem.
Does that make it, does age, is that different? Age, before being yoked or equally yoked?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I had to explain this to my other homegirl when she asked me, how y'all men be dating younger women? It's like, women look for security. So most young men don't make a lot of money for it.
The way women look at it is that men are probably 4 years younger than their age anyway. So if we dating somebody who is our same age, they are probably mentally, maybe potentially, even financially 4 years behind.
Yep.
So we like to date somebody older because we're usually on the same wavelength.
And then it flips when it comes to women and men. It's like y'all date people, you know what I'm saying, younger, you know, so y'all be cougars.
I think our last co-host said that when she was cheated on with somebody, her ex-husband cheated on somebody younger than her, and I didn't think about saying it at the time because I don't have a problem with even if my current husband, like if we divorced or whatever, and he dated somebody younger, I'm not threatened by that at all. I always know there's something I bring to the table. All these 52 years ain't for nothing, baby. I bring a lot to the table, and don't play when it comes to it. Don't play when it comes to it. So I'm not ever threatened by that. You can go date somebody 15 years. I mean, Jesus no. But I'm saying you go date somebody 10 years old younger
God
than me.
spoke to her real quick. She's like, oh Jesus.
I was gonna say 15 years old, but I meant 15 years younger than me. I don't care about that. Never threatened by that.
Was younger, but that didn't bother me.
Yeah, I'm never threatened by that.
Look, it wouldn't bother a man for sure. Because if you go get somebody 15 years younger than me, just know his money ain't with mine.
That's what I'm talking about. So your money, your thing is money for y'all. But for me, I bring so much more to the table. Not love is a whole lot of things too, but my wisdom I bring to the table. What I got, the way I can carry you, the things that I can take, the places I can take you. So many different places.
And where's she gonna take you? She want to go get her hair and her nails.
Yes.
Okay. And
but
she want to
So can that love sustain that being equally yoked?
They might. I mean,
does money change being unequally yoked or yoked?
I do. That's a possibility. Now, Oprah said something that I thought was really good too. She said that money only makes you a bigger person who you are, a bigger who you are person, something like that. But I think that to be true. If you're a good person before you get a lot of money, then you're a good person afterwards. You may give people money. You may give money away, whatever. But if you are an asshole before you get money, you're probably going to be a bigger asshole. But yes, so
I agree
with that.
So you think that'll just deter the relationship? I
think if the person who got the money, if that person is an asshole, then they're going to be a bigger that. And it depends on if the person can handle who they're making handle that. Do y'all feel that there's? Go ahead.
Okay. Do you remember the guy that was on Married at First Sight and he had a lot of money and he was an asshole?
So I actually
Do you remember?
I remember him, but I don't necessarily think he was a complete ass. So I know exactly what you're talking about. He was from Atlanta, and I have a whole opinion about that as well. I don't think that they treated him right, but that's a whole nother story. I know you. I
don't think how he treated the girl was right.
I think that they show. I think that a lot of that stuff was. It's a whole other subject too that we can talk about, but I don't necessarily agree with how he was portrayed. I don't.
Okay.
All right, come on. I think that was another subject. So, have you guys ever heard? Well, let's ask you this: what y'all think about astrological signs? Do y'all think that there's some compatibility, some realness in that?
I think that Scorpios are real Scorpios. You know what I'm saying? We don't play no games. I'm just saying, Scorpios. You know what I'm saying? What a lot.
Aquarius rule.
A lot of the stuff they say about Scorpios is true, other than, you know what I'm saying, they try to say we're controlling. Them people don't know what they're doing. I don't believe them tarot card reading people. Anyway.
Aries are number one.
Aries, you know what I'm saying?
We are the bump.
But when I meet people, sometimes I do look at astrology to see what it says.
That's what I was going to say. So I've seen people say that this sign is better with that sign, and this sign should never date that. I don't agree with that.
I have looked at it before and see like if a sign matches with my sign, what it says, and when it comes to compatibility, that's what I look at.
So the truth is, for me, I know for a fact that there are two signs I would never date. I'm not going to reveal those two signs, but I would never date those two signs. Never.
So for me, there are about 2 or 3 signs that I have never dated. So I can't even speak on them because I've never even dated them. Those might be the perfect signs.
Right.
So with that, do we go with the percentages? You know, are we with percentages of whatever? You know,
I don't go with percentages. I go with characteristics. There's a and this has nothing to do with, because I don't necessarily, what I believe about Google and all these things that are online and these statistics and things like that. Those are written. I'm the person that write. I've written a book. I just haven't released it yet. Written a book. I've done a few things. However, I because I know that things on the internet are written, they're not 100% to me. So for somebody to say to me that I may or may not be compatible to one astrological sign versus another, I don't listen to that. However, these 52 years that I bring to the world, I do know that I have seen some characteristics in two signs that I don't personally want for myself. So just like if I found out if there's certain religion, if there's certain signs,
I want to know what these signs are.
I'm not gonna tell you.
It ain't nothing.
I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not gonna say it for no signs.
It is not. It's not happening.
You're married now. What different?
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna even say it. I'll tell y'all off.
For me, it's Gemini.
That's actually one of them. It's actually one of them.
Look, they kind of two-faced, but
I'm not gonna say it because I just don't feel like getting into all that. But yeah, it can be, you know. Actually, there are some real characteristics that shows up for real in a person with that. So I don't necessarily agree with all the
I think with each astrological sign, there are half and half. Half of it is true, half of it is not true.
Correct.
And it could be the difference between male and female. It could be the difference between early in that sign or late in that sign. Like it's so many differences that you really can't tell. Like,
and I do agree with every sign, every person that is that sign don't possess all of the characteristics. I agree with that too.
We actually change. That's on another level. You change once you mate with the other person. That's like true. I was saying, sometimes you become.
If you are a good student. Yeah. Everybody are not good students. Everybody don't want to be taught.
Some people will not be taught unless they with a person.
That's true. I agree with that. Because if you love somebody, you change for them. You will.
There's nothing a man won't do.
And a woman.
No, y'all do that for anybody.
That's a lie. That's
y'all are trying to fall in love with anybody. Men will not do that.
That's a lie. The truth ain't in it.
Men not falling in love with everybody. Y'all. So for women. Y'all might be in love 20 times.
I don't know about that.
In y'all lifetime. We ain't gonna be in love. It's a guarantee. We not gonna be in love 20 times.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, no.
We not being in love 20 times.
I have not been in love that many times.
It's just like y'all have moved to a different house 20 times in 20 years. Right. We not doing it. No matter what.
I understand that.
I've only been in love one time.
When I think about moving right now, man, no, I'm not doing it.
It ain't no bad thing.
Wait a minute.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I've only been in love one time with Nard.
Oh, okay.
That's the only person I've ever been in love with.
So once. I think I'm in love right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
What?
He got
The
killed.
reason I say I think is because I was talking about my first marriage, but when I think about it, because I was in my first marriage for a long time, but again, we started early, and I think we just kind of rolled through life as it was, but we were really young. In the number of years, I thought I was, but the way that I think about it now is that this is my first real marriage. I mean, this is my first real love.
Your gut.
Yeah, and I want to change for the person. What I know, the reason I know that I'm in love with my husband is because I don't mind changing or conforming a little bit for him. Like I want to be better for him.
Right.
Whereas some other time I'll be like, oh no, nigga, no.
And this particular guy that I was in love with, he had a lot of money. I didn't know that when I met him. So it was never about that. He wasn't driving a fancy car, any of that. And when I met him, we used to go to the drive-in movies. We used to do things like that. So he treated me like a queen, I would say. But just as far as us spending time together, getting to know each other. And I like a person that knows how to switch it off when it's time to come off the 9 to 5. Like, don't be stiff all the time. Because I like to laugh and enjoy myself. So he was just a cool person. And then, like I said, a long time, I didn't know he had anything like that. You know what I'm saying? When it came to
So why you left him?
He got killed, but before
They didn't get killed when you guys were
before he got killed, but I got married. Well, okay, so he was into this certain activity.
What was that?
That I had to,
street pharmacist, man.
And
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong.
When people trying to kill you, it is.
Oh.
And when God tell me to move, I move, and I had to leave it. And so that's potentially what got him killed. And I could have been there. But God told me to, even though I loved him dearly and I was in love with him deeply, I had to go. And it hurted me really bad, but I had to.
You feel y'all was equally yoked?
Outside of that pharmaceutical job.
It's either yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. I feel like he was my soulmate. Like, literally.
So, that's key.
Okay, so soulmate, I could use soulmate versus equally yoked. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I feel like he was.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Do y'all believe you can have multiple soulmates?
What you mean, at one time?
No.
Oh.
Like in your lifetime. In your lifetime.
Oh, definitely.
Do you have more than one soulmate? Or do you have a soulmate, period?
I believe in that. But at my age, I can't accept anything. So when I find my soulmate, I know. Because he's going to find me.
And I don't know if I can answer that question. Because right now, I think I'm with my soulmate. But I don't know that after my current husband and I, if by chance something happens to him, then if I will find that person again, I don't know that. So I can't say one word.
See, I look at that differently. Your soulmate could be your child.
No, I don't agree with that.
Mm-mm.
No.
Your child.
Talking about love.
No. So
how can your child be your soulmate?
They get you in the way another person never will, regardless of whether you married in love.
So there are different. When you think about compartmentalize, you know what I'm talking about. Compartmentalizing things. There are love I have for my parents.
Mm-hmm.
There are love I have for my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
There are love I have for my children, and there's a different love I have for my husband, and they don't feel the same space.
So.
They don't feel the same space. Like if I had a heart, if you see my heart, maybe it's like a puzzle piece.
See, we all not the same. So what I'm saying is, like, if I saw, because I seen this lady say her son was her soulmate because that connected.
That's weird to me. I don't
Yeah, because of the way, because of the way we're brought up.
Right.
We have to unlearn everything and relearn. Right. When she said it, she didn't mean like she was in love with him. The way they in tune, he could speak her words, she could speak his words, but he was getting married.
I have sisters. We do the same thing. My husband and I do the same thing, but they still don't share the same space. It's weird to me I don't. That's to me. I don't agree with that. I saw a lady one time on social media who said, and the reason I think that's I'm bringing this up because of what you just said. But she said that she was being interviewed by somebody. And about sex, and she said that she had sex. She said that was like what the weirdest thing, maybe the weirdest thing you've ever done or something. She said she had sex with a guy and his mom, and you saw that, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, and the person interviewed was like, what? And she was like, yeah, like I went over there, and the mom was there, and he was like, do what you do, and the mom went to work, and she involved. What the fuck? No. So when you say soulmate, there's some. I don't
Nah,
even
see,
cross line. I'm not even saying that.
That's different. That's retarded.
I don't get into that. Is retarded. That's crazy to me. So I don't get into stuff like that. There are words that I use for my husband. There are words of love I use for my sisters and for my kids.
Okay.
Different places.
But I think if we're just like men only love probably twice their whole life. If they do have a soulmate, it ain't but one or two. It ain't more than that.
Right.
I can't say.
I agree. I agree with that. But men do love different. And they show their love different.
That's what he keep trying to tell you.
And they show their love different. They show their love different too.
But with that, it comes knowing what the other person, the 5 love languages. Knowing
that's where we're going next. Yes, I had that. I was thinking about the same thing. So, do you guys? Everybody have heard of 5 love languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know yours, or do you know your mates?
That's the key, the mate part. Mine's.
Do you know your love language? Like
touch. Yeah. All day.
Yeah, a lot of men are too. Yeah. Do you agree that you can be more than once? Like more than one?
It's more than one.
Yeah, and I think there's some other ones on there too that's not even there. So I told you I'm a creative.
Right,
so
right. That's right.
Yeah, I think that there are people who want to put people in a box, and I don't want to just say that I'm one. And even the 5, I can't think of them at the moment, but I remember thinking to myself, like, this should be on there. This should be on there. So it probably should be about 7.
But I think everybody's different, and that's the whole key.
Right.
Everybody's different. Like,
I agree with. I'm glad that he even brought up the conversation. But go ahead.
For men, like a lot of men, it's certain things like you're not going to be sucking my toes or no stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you say it, you automatically see the man like, nah, I'm good on that, bro. Y'all can have that.
Yeah.
That ain't for us. That's for the females. That's not.
Can I tell everybody what these 5 love languages are first? Because maybe there's someone who may be listening who may not even realize, but 5 love languages, it's just a theory that, I can't even remember the guy's name right now, but he wrote a book about, there are different ways that people love or receive love. It's about the reception of it all, and which is important.
The women are number 1. I'm just gonna put that up there.
So listen. So the first one is acts of service. So if you receive love by acts of service, you'd like for people to do things for you.
All day.
Then they're receiving gifts. So if you receive love like that, you'd like for people to give you gifts, and that shows you that they love you by giving you gifts.
That's women, right? 2-0.
I like it. And quality time. So if you receive love, you maybe like to sit on the couch and just hold hands or just watch TV and movies.
I like quality time.
Yeah, but that's your love language. When someone sit down with you, or maybe not even on the couch, or go take you out, but just spending quality time with you. So we have quality time, and then words of affirmation.
That's what men need.
Yeah, I agree with that. Women does too, but I see what you're saying. So if you receive love by words of affirmation, you like for people to tell you good job, or that was great what you did, or I appreciate this, or thank you for that. So words of affirmation. Yeah.
But 5 is all me, you know what I'm saying?
And then physical touch is the last one. So if you receive love by physical touch, you like for someone to touch your, to hold your hand from time to time, to rub your back, or to, what I like the most is I'm walking past my husband and he may hit me on my butt, or he may do this and that.
That's right.
There's a physical touch. So the 5 love languages: acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch.
So we're gonna put these in perspective.
All right, let's go.
So for women, we're gonna go and give y'all number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Exactly.
Acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and words of affirmation.
That's all for women. As far as men, what we consider the most important is gonna be the words of affirmation and physical touch. And then we might do quality time, but we don't really care about the gifts and the acts of service and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But definitely use these for searching or seeking for your being equally yoked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
Right.
Right. Those are some good ones too. Good quality.
I try to be really good with words of affirmation. I learned this about my husband some years ago, that it did motivate him more to do when I would say, I appreciate that. Or that was whatever. Like, you really did. You did really did well. And I didn't know this going into it. I never really thought about it. But I did notice it made him move differently, and that was more motivation for me.
But I was gonna touch on that because I feel like I don't feel like a lot of men in relationship get recognition from their mate,
right?
Because it's not that they're looking for it, but they appreciate it.
Yeah,
and they like to
we do it.
they like to know that they're appreciated too.
Right.
So when I'm in a relationship, I like to let my man know he smelled good, he looked good, or
Right.
that was good. You know, have a good day. Leave a note on the pillow when you wake up or whatever. I want
like
to
I
do
did my
things
husband
like
this
that.
morning when he went to play golf. I was like, babe, go kick ass.
Right,
but have a
right.
good day. You know,
I like giving words of affirmation to the female, just like a lot of dudes.
We like it too.
We don't really care about the lashes and the nails and all that shit.
Right.
Most of us really don't care about that shit for real.
Exactly.
I agree with you on
But if you come home from the salon and I can see a difference, and it turned me on, like, hey, shit, man. Who was this salon person you did with too? We gonna keep
Take
that
it back
one.
to her.
We gonna keep that one. Yeah, she did her thing. She put her foots in there. Yeah, we gonna keep that one.
Both of them. Both of them. Have you guys ever heard of the DISC behavior, the DISC theory?
Nope.
So there's a behavior. It's called DISC, D-I-S-C. It's usually used in corporations, like businesses use it to learn the behavior of their leaders, and then they teach the leaders, and then you learn your coworkers, and you learn how to deal with them.
I think I'm gonna be with the D's though. I think I'm gonna be in the D's. I think I'm being them.
What had happened was, this DISC is an acronym for D is for dominance, I is for influence, S is for steadiness, and C is for consciousness. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I am actually certified to do this test, right? But the reason I got certified for it was not for corporation, was for relationships. Because I wanted to start giving behavior. So it is a behavior too. You get all these questions and you answer all of these questions, and then it shoots back an analysis of who you are and why you do what you do. And if you take that and your mate take that, then the reason I wanted to do it was because my theory is, if you guys can come together and see each other, what makes you do what you do, then you can combat it by understanding why you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you do what you do?
I don't know about that one.
What?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
So dominance.
All right.
That's by nature. This is what's supposed to be instilled in a man.
Right.
By nature, but it's not supposed to be instilled in a woman.
I
It's
disagree.
not
I
supposed to
disagree
be.
with this, Jay. You know,
Look,
I disagree with this.
So that's like.
I got something to show
So
you.
dominance comes with this masculinity.
Oh, lies.
And we got that.
That's not true.
We're gonna take care of that. But when it comes to, if we take the test and I see dominance on mine 15 times, and I look on yours and you got 14 dominance, yeah, that's I'm gonna get over nobody.
So let me say this to you. So for instance, innately, if someone is innately dominant, it like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna show you mine. I'm getting ready to show you mine. If someone is, I am an Aries, right? By nature, I am a leader. By nature, I am a D. I'm dominant. But when I'm saying dominant, doesn't mean that I'm dominant to my man. It doesn't mean that I'm dominant. I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. I can't strip out parts of me. I just can't. I can't strip out because I was born in Aries and I'm a leader.
So you
I
was
can't
born in
strip it
Aries.
out. Yes.
You was born in Aries. You was born a leader. If your mom taught you, if your mom, your aunts, and your grandma taught you nothing but femininity,
right?
You still could be a leader.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So how can
without
you
the dominance though? That's the dominance is for the man.
So this is the thing. When you're saying that, you're asking me to dumb down or not be who I am.
No,
innately
it's on
in order to get with a man, and that's not right.
It's on upbringing. If your upbringing, if I
don't agree with it.
If we're teaching our daughters to be feminine, all feminine, we want y'all to play tennis and do gymnastics,
right?
And play the dogs, and nurture and take care of kids in the house stuff. That's all feminine. No masculine in it. If that's what we're teaching.
Wait. Let me tell you something. So I do play tennis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in tennis, I am assertive.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word aggressive because I hate when people do that. I hate
You're more assertive than your opponent.
Yeah, to some people. Not even everybody. There are some people who are not Aries who are, whatever. But I'm saying that is when my D strikes when it is appropriate, it reveals itself. So if I am a D, It may not be. It may be a
But you can
tennis
be
court, but it
but
may
you
not
can
be.
an assertive person, a feminine assertive person. You don't have to be a masculine assertive person. You can be feminine.
Right. I feel that.
So you saying in a relationship, like I dated in high school, and she was sports with everything I did.
That's me.
Basketball, track, everything.
Man, you what 99% dominant?
So yeah. So but then with that, you're saying you're a leader. Isn't it good to yoke two leaders?
No.
No. Two leaders?
No.
Because only one alpha can
So
lead.
pretty much.
Well, no, wait a minute. No, not in my relationship. No, hell no. I'm not the man in a relationship because I know how to let my husband lead.
So then
you are allowing him to lead.
I'm not allowing him to. Well, everyone will have to allow. It is a decision. It is a decision that you make. I either make the decision to allow him. I hand over some of my power to him as a man of the house, and I say I hand over because before my husband, I had 3 children, and so I had to be the lead of the household, and I had to make things happen and make shit happen, right? But when I got married, I had to hand over. It was a decision that I had to make was to allow him to do that.
But most a lot. Well, I ain't gonna say most. I know it's
over the family.
Used to being the leader will not turn it over to the man.
That's
won't allow him to be.
Or they're gonna be over his shoulder 24/7 when he try to make these decisions. Because that ain't how I would do it. I would do it like this.
You humble.
And that's the ones who 99% dominant.
Okay. So you telling me 2 superstars can't be on the same team?
Usually opposites attract, and I do believe that. I believe that because if everyone's a leader, who are you leading? Then there's no leader. If everyone's a leader, then there's no one to lead. You know what I mean? In my opinion, anyway.
Mike and Pippen, Scott.
No, like Steph and when they brought Kevin Durant on the team.
So them 2 leaders, right?
But no, Steph was the leader, but KD is the best player.
Okay.
So Steph leading that team, he let KD do what he do, and he'll get his when he get his.
So
that's a good leader.
Yeah, that's
a good leader.
Right. And a lot of people can't do that.
Right.
A lot of people didn't agree with that move. And people can't believe that it worked because it wasn't supposed to work. If Steph was alpha and Kevin Durant was alpha, but it worked. Because Steph just said, okay, I'm going to let you just do what you do. I can get mine regardless.
Wow. So, you know what? When you just saying opposite attract, but I'm a math person. So, y equals x squared plus 2x plus x equals 0. What we would do is try to find the variables, set everything equal to 0. So, in order to find the answer, we are
not in college.
So I have no idea what he just said. So I was like, what?
So, like terms, you have to have like terms. So, should the man being equal to should the man and the woman have like terms in order for them to solve the problem, or should they be opposite?
They'll probably, if they are in a relationship, will probably be opposites. That's what I would think.
So that's the question.
Because if I'm dominant, she gonna be non-dominant.
Or
if I'm
she
masculine,
is
she gonna be feminine.
Right? Because if you're not a dominant person,
that's
like,
how
they're gonna be butting heads. They'll be butting heads all the time. I think so anyway. Now you may get people who don't realize that if you dating somebody else who is just like you, and you don't understand why y'all keep butting heads. Because you can't date yourself. You can't, or you shouldn't necessarily date yourself. Because it's just you just don't have nobody to lead if everybody's leaders.
I think so, but a lot of time also in like different cultures or different races, they allow the woman to make all those decisions. They sit back like a president. Let the woman be the vice president and the person be the president. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Well, you know who really leads anyway. I'm just saying.
See, and that's the issue. That's the issue that Scorpios have.
I'm just saying.
We're not even playing them games right now. But
yeah, to real quick though, I wanted to at least mention or make sure that I mentioned that it seems to me a good idea, just like you have love languages, just like you have astrological signs, that the disc behavior tool is a good tool because if you got 2 people to at least understand each other and come to the table and be like, okay, well, he's a D, and this is the reason that he acts like, or that she's a D. The reason that you butt head with her because innately she's going to be dominant, but even with your dominance, ma'am, you still gotta calm down because your husband is still the head of the household. And so, but then you got him to. A lot of times, people misunderstand. They misconstrue that being dominant or someone who is not dominant is weak, and that's not the case. They bring strength somewhere else. They bring strength where you lack. And as long as 2 people are willing to allow the other person to shine where they shine, you good. Because you can't come in and say, okay, I know everything and I'm good at everything. You can't do that. Absolutely. Teamwork make the dream work, for real. So you got to be able to allow people to shine, and you can't diminish that just because you're a D or you're an I or you're an S or C, that whatever the other person brings to the table is weak. You can't do that. If you do that, then you are doing a disservice to you and your marriage. You got to be able to accept people for who they are and what they bring to the table. That's all I'm saying.
I got you. We're gonna let her have that one for this week.
Appreciate it.
This was real good.
Yeah, interesting podcast, y'all.
We got a lot more topics to discuss. We're gonna do that at a later date. I think the next time we're going to her podcast, which is
Quite Frankly, KWITE, Frankly with Sheila.
Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe on her channel and share it.
What's your podcast? You want to say your podcast on here?
The Opposition Podcast.
Opposition.
We're gonna put that out next week.
Okay,
so
now
everybody will know. I want y'all to like and share and subscribe to our channel too. And we'll see y'all next time.
Listen, don't forget, anywhere I am is a grown folks table. So bring it back to the grown folks tables next week on Quite Frankly with Jay, me.
And follow me on YouTube and Instagram, Life with Shannon. Life with Shan.
And be loved.
Be Love in the house, Shan, Sheila, and Jay. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later. Thanks for checking me out, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. All right.